Hey everybody, welcome back to thedrumshed.com. My name's John, and today we're going to be checking out a brand new groove. Today, we're going to be learning our first triplet-based groove. Up to this point in our previous lessons, the grooves that we've done have utilized groups of two mainly. This groove has kind of a fancy name that we're going to learn. It's called a 12/8 shuffle, or it's sometimes referred to as a gospel shuffle. We're going to learn the absolute basic beat, and then I'm going to show you a couple of variations to kind of spice it up a little bit and show you one or two fills that you can incorporate with this particular groove. Now, the term shuffle gets thrown around a lot. And when I've discussed this with my students, a lot of them can't define the term shuffle. They've heard it, and they might even be able to play it, but they don't have a good working definition of it. The best and simplest definition of a shuffle is really just a triplet-based groove with a backbeat. Now, when we talk about this in my lessons with my private students, I then ask them, well, what's a backbeat? And most of the time, they kind of look at me with a blank look and say, well, it's a backbeat. And they don't have a great definition of what this is. A backbeat really simply is a strong pulse on 2 and 4. So it's a triplet-based groove with a strong pulse on 2 and 4. So the best way to learn this groove is to break it down into the different limbs on the drum set. And to start off with, we're going to start with the hi-hat. Now, if you can count to 6, you can play this groove in probably the next minute to 2 minutes. So stick with me here. Next minute, you'll have this groove down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our metronome on. And we're going to set it to groups of 6 so that we can really clearly see these groups of 6. Now, once you have your metronome going, start counting that group of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Next, we're going to add the bass drum to the mix. The bass drum is going to fall on every count 1. So count along with your hi-hat, and every time you say 1, step on your bass drum. That would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next step is adding your snare on count 4. So your bass drum is going to fall on count 1, your snare drum is going to fall on count 4. Simple as that. Here's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. That's your basic shuffle beat. That's a 12/8 shuffle. Now you may be asking yourself, you just said that a shuffle was a groove with a strong beat on 2 and 4. It seems like we're just putting the strong beat on 1 and 4. Isn't that not the definition you just gave us? And you're right, it's not. The reason this is a shuffle is if you take those groups of 3 that we're playing on the hi-hat, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or we're counting them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and think of them as triplets. All a triplet is 3 evenly spaced notes per beat. And you put those triplets in 4/4 times. So you put 4 sets of triplets in a bar of 4/4. You have 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. If you're thinking of it like that, your snare does end up falling on 2 and 4. Every 4th hi-hat, your snare will play. So it'll fall on 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Just as simple as that. Bass drum, if you're thinking in triplets, falls on 1 and 3, just like our basic rock groove. So if you replaced the 8th notes that we played on our hi-hat in that very first lesson with triplets, you would have this groove. So there you go. That's all it is. That is a 12/8 shuffle. Now, if we want to get a little bit fancier with this, we can add a couple simple variations. The first variation that I do with all my students is adding an additional bass drum on count 6. So what that would sound like is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, that was at 150 beats per minute, and that's to the eighth note. So if you put your metronome on at 150 beats per minute, you would line right up with what we were just playing. Now, if that seems a little bit fast, by all means, slow it down. You can knock this down as slow as you need to get that bass drum there. The one thing to remember is that that bass drum is going to play 2 notes in a row when you repeat back from 6 to 1. So you have bass on 1, snare on 4, bass on 6, and then again on beat 1 as it repeats. That is a super effective groove that you can play at a whole bunch of different tempos and dynamics to fit a lot of different styles of music. Okay, so let's expand on this idea a little bit further. Up to this point, each group of 6 has had the exact same bass and snare drum pattern. To take this to the next step, we're going to change the bass drum pattern in the second group of 6 from the first group of 6. The way this is going to work, the first group of 6 is going to be exactly what we just played. Bass drum on 1, snare drum on 4, bass drum on 6. The second group of 6, we're going to play just the hi-hat for the first 3 beats. Then our snare is going to come in on count 4, and then we're going to play another bass drum on count 6. So effectively, we're eliminating the bass drum on beat 1 the second time through our group of 6. Let's take a listen to what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So up to this point, we've been playing all our grooves at 150 beats per minute to the eighth note. Now let's pick it up a little bit. Let's bump that metronome up to 185. And let's try that slightly more advanced groove at 185. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there you go. That is your basic 12/8 gospel shuffle with a couple variations. Now, if you wanted to put a fill along with this beat, let me give you a couple really simple fills to start with. The first one is take your 2 groups of 6 and simply play them on the snare and the floor tom in unison. And start quiet and build louder. Sound like this. Or if you wanted to add a slight variation to that, take the last group of 3 and split it right around your drums. Snare on 1, tom on 2, tom on 3. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3 on the snare and floor tom. And then that last set of 3, split it, snare, high, and then low tom. That would sound like this. Now, you could obviously shorten that fill. So let me give you 3 bars of time with our 12/8 groove. And then in the last measure, I'm going to play time for the first 6 beats, and then the last 6 beats, I'll add the shortened version of the fill. That would sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there you go. There are a couple different fills that you can work in with this basic 12/8 shuffle. You may have noticed that I put a little bit of a push on my hi-hat on beats 1 and 4 to give a little sense of a quarter note pulse as well. Once you get the basic beat down, if you feel like adding that, that's a really effective way to make this groove have a little bit more weight to it. So just putting that little bit of a lean on beats 1 and 4. a really nice effect if you can work that in as well. So after you get the main beats down, maybe try adding that as kind of a little bonus. We're going to do a couple more videos like this where we delve into a couple additional shuffles that you may have heard tossed around. So make sure to check those out. Also, visit the website, check out all the product reviews and lesson videos we've got on there. Please like and leave a comment below. Let us know any other lessons that you'd like to see in the future or product reviews. And if you like the video, please subscribe. We're going to be having videos coming out every single week, and we'd love for you to check back in and see all the stuff we have coming. So I'm going to play a little bit right at the end for you here. Just working around with this basic 12/8 shuffle. I'll play it at a couple different dynamic levels, maybe using a cross stick, and try a couple different fill variations that you're welcome to copy and steal to your heart's content. So again, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video.